Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
She's accused of unknowingly hiring an undercover officer to kill her boyfriend's sister. Today, day one in the solicitation of capital murder trial of Angelica Navarro de Paz.
The defense and state giving an overview of this case today. Our Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom.
A murder for hire plot is being presented to a jury in the 437th District Court this week. Angelica Navarro de Paz is accused of hiring an undercover police officer to kill her boyfriend's sister over some money she apparently owed her.
They snatch her, slit her throat, shoot her, do whatever. Those are the words that Angelica Navarro de Paz used.
The state wasting no time telling the jury they had video and audio evidence to prove a deal was made for $1,700 and some cocaine to have a woman named Anayeli Mendoza Flores killed.
There's a video of the defendant sitting in the passenger seat of his vehicle saying all of these words to him.
According to the prosecution, a meeting between Navarro de Paz took place on two occasions, once in July 2017 and then again on August 15, 2017, when she handed the undercover cop a down payment for the hit.
And you can hear on the audio recording, you can hear her counting out the bills.
Navarro de Paz, who lives in Austin but owned businesses and flipped houses in San Antonio, was arrested after that exchange. The defense in opening statement saying that Navarro de Paz would be taking the stand to testify and that she isn't denying what she said on video and audio recordings, just that she never expected this hit to actually take place. We can expect her testimony later this week. If she is found guilty, she is facing anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison. At the Cadena Reeves Justice Center, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Now to a woman who played a role in her boyfriend's murder. She pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 20 years. Yesterday, 26-year-old Indaria Flowers was sentenced after pleading guilty to murder in the death of Isaiah Roper. In September 2018, Flowers and James Johnson went to Roper's family home. The Bexar County DA's office says that Flowers got into a fight with Roper and his family and pulled out a knife. The weapon was wrestled away from Flowers during that argument. Then she yelled for Johnson to shoot Roper. He was killed right there in front of his family.
A person injured, another arrested following a late night shooting. It happened about 12:40 this morning in the 16,800 block of Griffin Road near I-35 and Lucky Road in southwest Bexar County. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says they found a man in his 30s with a gunshot wound to his stomach. They say the shooter, a man in his 40s, left the scene and was actually found in Somerset. The victim taken to University Hospital. He's expected to be okay. The cause of the shooting is still under investigation.
We've been through some hard times, but I'm happy to report that the state of our city is strong, and with eyes wide open, we are moving forward.
Mayor Ron Nirenberg saying today that San Antonio is focused on recovery and rebuilding. This afternoon, he delivered his first in-person State of the City address since the pandemic began. City Hall reporter Garrett Berger tells us about some of the tools the mayor is highlighting.
As San Antonio transitions out of pandemic mode, Mayor Ron Nirenberg says the pandemic highlighted cracks in the city's economic foundation.
We can do better. We must, and we will.
He pointed to the $200 million voter-approved SA Ready to Work program as a way to fight that. The program, which he had championed, is expected to launch next month, with the ultimate goal of getting more than 15,000 San Antonians through certification and degree programs and into in-demand jobs.
We are writing a bright new chapter in San Antonio's history. And if we do this right, SA Ready to Work will be a big win that enhances the economic prospects for our workforce and for employers.
The mayor also brought up housing costs as another stressor on San Antonio families and talked about the $150 million housing bond that voters are already casting ballots on.
If approved, Proposition F, the housing bond, on the May ballot will provide an unprecedented investment in affordable housing for our city.
Some, like District 10's Clayton Perry, though, are skeptical of the first-of-its-kind housing bond.
Our infrastructure to the tune of $6.6 billion is where we need to be focusing on. And I just got concerns about getting into the housing business with our tax dollars.
But Perry and the mayor do have common ground on the need for property tax relief in the face of rising home appraisals. While Nuremberg said relief is coming, the exact details are not yet sorted out. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Speaking of that bond, more than $2 million of San Antonio bond money may soon go to a Florida-based charity. Why? Last night, the Defender's Dylan Collier told you about the connection between San Antonio Councilman Manny Pelaez and the CEO of Canines for Warriors, which claims to be the nation's leading service dog provider for veterans. Now, in part 2 of his investigation on the Night Beat, Dylan uncovers criticism of the project, including from one of the San Antonio residents who approved the expansion project to be part of the 2022 bond.
A lot of the other organizations in San Antonio are 100% volunteer-based. They do not have a CEO with a bloated salary, and they have proven track records.
Coming up on the Night Beat, that CEO of Canines for Warriors, Rory Diamond, defends his charity's work, while Councilman Pelaez explains his support of the nonprofit, despite not meeting its goal of the number of local shelter dogs transferred into its care. Part 2 of this Defender's investigation tonight on the Night Beat at 10. And if you want to read more about this Defender's investigation and others, just use this QR code. Sign up for the Defender's newsletter, where you'll hear ahead of time about what they're working on.
Parents of babies are scrambling right now. It is incredibly tough to find formula. This is what parents are seeing or not seeing. Precious little, if any, formula on store shelves. And when it is in stock, many retailers are limiting how much you can buy. First, there was pandemic supply chain issues. Then a big February recall made things worse.
It's been insane. This is the only thing your baby can have. It's not like you can just give them a Happy Meal.
Brandy Sloan just adopted her baby who needs a particular kind of formula. She says friends have helped out, even giving her frozen breast milk, and she is hardly alone. So if you're dealing with this shortage too, there are things pediatricians recommend. Look for other brands that are most similar to what you're used to. Now, one thing doctors say never do not water down formula to make it last longer. That can cause severe health problems for infants. Talk to your pediatrician for some more guidance.
If feeling sick, trying to figure out what you may have, well, a local specialist says don't rule out the flu, even though it's almost May. He tells Courtney Friedman why this flu season is still continuing far past its usual end date.
In late April, we've usually moved on from the flu and are more focused on pollen allergies and other circulating viruses, but not this year.
We are seeing ongoing flu activity. If you look at CDC Flu View, it's overall low for the United States, but it's increased a little bit from the week before.
Infectious disease expert Dr. Jason Bowling with University Health and UT Health San Antonio says a COVID ripple effect is to blame.
When we were doing all the measures, the public health measures to reduce the risk of transmission of COVID, that's effective against influenza as well, right? So wearing the mask, people not traveling as much, avoiding large crowds.
As those public health measures relaxed, people became vulnerable to viruses like the flu that they haven't been exposed to in a while.
If they didn't get the vaccine, if they hadn't had a flu infection in a while, we have a lot of susceptible people.
So first things first, if you're immunocompromised, keep wearing your mask.
Wash your hands well, be careful in large crowds.
So if you feel really sick, you've got a fever and body aches, and you test negative for COVID-19, you might actually have the flu. So make an appointment with your doctor and make sure to ask for a flu test. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with live cam right now. Hopefully the rain did something to help the pollen out there. Speaking of sniffles and sneezes.
Yeah. Well, sneezes seem to be back though today.
I've got my fingers crossed.
It can wash away some of the oak pollen, and oak pollen's on the downswing anyway, but it also boosts the mold pollen, as well as boosting the aquifer. This is what we like to see, and we haven't seen in a while. It's up a foot and likely still responding to the recent rainfall. We're still, though, about 19 feet below average. But you look at the pollen count in detail here. Mold, about 9,500. In the high category, oak moderate at 370, so it's dropped, but typically oak does start to fall off, and we should be on the tail end of oak season right now. Pecan moderate and pine on the low end. Molds should stay elevated for another day or two. Typically happens after these rains. Right now, temperatures mostly in the 70s, a comfortable evening in the 60s, and we'll have some clouds, but maybe just a stray sprinkle. That's about it. We'll talk about rain chances for the future and how we're doing rain-wise now compared to average in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. Let's check out traffic right now. Let's go to 410 and Northwest Military Highway, and you can see things moving along very smoothly at this hour. This is usually a busy part of 410, but everybody seems to be minding their P's and Q's today.
On their best behavior.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a longtime Southside daycare was destroyed by a fire earlier this month, but the Guardian Angel Child Development Center is determined to stay open for its families.
Sarah Acosta spoke with the director of that center about how the community can help.
Waking up to the video of the flames tearing through this Southside daycare a week and a half ago is something that the director of the center, Liz Rocha, says felt surreal and couldn't believe was happening to her workplace.
I was like still asleep, so I was like, shut up. And she was like, no, I'm serious.
That fire destroying the Guardian Angel Child Development Center down to the studs, devastating the employees and families who have been part of the daycare that has been open since the 1980s.
In shock, like we walked into our office and we were just like looking around and everything was gone.
Harlandale United Methodist Church has opened its doors and is letting the center use some of its space as a temporary location. The owner and staff are determined to reopen and rebuild their classrooms by this week to keep serving their 42 Southside families. But to make that happen, they are starting over from scratch.
Office supplies, like I said, all of our office stuff are completely gone. Our filing cabinets are gone. Down to the paper clips are all gone.
Other things they need: children's play mats, swings, bouncers, storage bins and shelves, children's books, and arts and crafts supplies.
Some people in the community have already stepped up to help out. For example, this classroom, fully furnished by Colonial Hills United Methodist Church.
Rocha says the donations they've received so far means everything to them.
The community has really pulled together to be able to have us up and running. We're just really waiting on the fire marshal to be able to reopen.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
Now you can drop off any of these needed items on your screen Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon in the back building of Harlandale United Methodist Church. It's at 102 West White Avenue. You can also find all this information on KSAT.com.
Still to come, find out how controlling the good bacteria in your stomach can actually help out your brain. We're going to explain after the break.
Have you ever heard someone say, I have a gut feeling about that? Well, it turns out your gut may know more than your brain when it comes to some things.
In fact, some researchers believe by controlling the good bacteria in your gut, you can stave off cognitive decline. Ursula Perry has the details on how a simple drink could help save our memories.
I feel like I'm about 42 and a half.
Add 23 and a half years to that, and you will have Michael Brown's real age. Brown is increasing his exercise routine and focusing on his diet, which some researchers say is key to taking care of not only your body, but also your brain.
There is a natural abundance of the good and the bad bacteria. They live together.
Creating a microbiome community in your gut that lives and works together. But
the bad guys grow much faster than the good guys. The microbiome is very different in the people who are on high risk of developing dementia.
Studies have shown the gut microbiome may affect an executive brain function, including its influence on cognition, depression, and anxiety. 95% of serotonin and 50% of dopamine are produced in the gut. Those are the feel-good neurotransmitters that help us to regulate our moods. Researchers are working to find a way to read each individual's own microbiome signature and create personalized probiotic drinks and foods to help restore the balance.
Our hope is by offering or correcting the microbiome abnormalities early enough will delay or prevent the cognitive decline or dementia progress.
Researchers are going to be launching a study just for people who are concerned about their cognitive development, their brain health, and the link possibly between dementia and their gut health. They're going to be looking at gut microbiomes to see if there are any changes in there that can predict when somebody is going to have dementia. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside from Sky 12 this evening, flying high above the San Antonio Missions, Wolf Stadium. No rain delays out here today.
No. Great night for baseball.
Oh, and it looks nice and green, too.
Yeah, everything's going to green up pretty nicely. And of course, we had a big difference in rainfall totals all across our area, but that's typical, with these rain events. And we'll take a look at the Doppler radar estimates coming up next half hour. But first, I want to take a look at our rain chances going forward. It's a good thing that we got that soaker while we did. Officially 0.93 at the airport in town, our official climate reporting site. A few 10% chances here and there. Saturday afternoon and evening, up to 20% because we could have a few pop-up thunderstorms. That's it. So let's take a look at where we are right now. After this good rainfall, since April 1st, 1.21, but that's still 0.8 of an inch below average month to date. Year to date, we've had about 3.6 inches, and that's still nearly 4.5 inches below average. I mean, this was good. It's good to see the rainfall for a change, but we still have a lot of ground to make up. And let's talk about the area reservoir levels. Medina, 19% full. And that's 55 feet below the conservation pool. Canyon, usually very stable lake level. That's at 97% full, so 1.5 feet below the conservation pool. Still some work to do in several of the area lakes and reservoirs. You look at the pattern today, a lot of low clouds here, and we had some morning showers, but they turned into just a few sprinkles by the afternoon. Otherwise quiet all across the state. And here's our computer rendition of where we're most likely to see the bulk of the precipitation over the next 7 days. Upper Midwest, the Northland, parts of Texas, but not so much south and central Texas going forward. We talked about those rain chances and up to 20% on Saturday. That's it. So a few isolated pop-ups, and that's all we can really drum up here, I think, in the foreseeable future. Low clouds now, and at least it's comfortable. 72 degrees, a dew point of 58. So not too humid out there. You don't feel the mugginess. That's going to change pretty quickly. Give it another day and you'll notice that humidity. Across the state, most of us in the 70s. Remember, we had that cool front move through very early yesterday. As a result, temperatures only in the 70s across the entire state. And you look locally here, 70s, some upper 60s now. And it's just overall a very comfortable and pleasant evening. 68 Bernie, 72 Converse, 73 Port SA. Comfort right now at 71. We'll gradually fall through the 60s this evening and tomorrow morning. Most of us right near the 60-degree mark. So 57 Kerrville and Bandera, and about 60 at Stinson, Seguin about 59 at the bus stop tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, we get back to 80, actually lower 80s for most of us. Castroville, Port SA, Stinson about 83, and then of course some upper 70s as you get into parts of the hill country. So these temperatures are slowly going up and will continue to do so when we're back to 90 degrees by Friday. But here's a detailed look at tomorrow. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. 60 at 7 a.m. See that 10% chance? It's just a few sprinkles. Can't rule it out with the clouds to start the day. By the noon hour, still fairly gray and cloudy, but starting to see the breaks in the clouds and a little bit of sunshine, 73 degrees. Then we get into the afternoon, make it into the lower 80s around town and a southeasterly wind at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Before you know it, we're back to 90 degrees on Friday. A good amount of sunshine Thursday, Friday. Into the weekend, still right near 90. You'll feel the stickiness and the mugginess back in the air as a result of that added humidity. Morning temperatures back to 70 degrees. Otherwise, other than that 20% chance, it's a pretty blank 7-day forecast when it comes to a chance of rain. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for the future.
Yeah, thankful for what we got yesterday. Thanks, Adam.
All right, coming off their biggest win in franchise history, this is a hot team.
You're talking about San Antonio FC, who has gone 3-0-0 in their last 3 games. This is an amazing week they've had, and an amazing week they're looking forward to. When we come back, more about that, including their star goalie right now, Jordan Farr, and the Texans make a trade before the draft. Coming up. San Antonio FC is the hottest team in the United States Soccer League, coming off an undefeated 3-0 week that includes victories over Austin FC, 2-1 in extra time last Wednesday, their first win over and against an MLS team. And again on Saturday night when Justin Dillon scored his first goal of the season, San Antonio FC's first ever win on the road against New Mexico United, 1-0. Now they get ready for Monterey Bay FC after their third straight clean sheet, thanks to goalkeeper Jordan Farr. As a result, Jordan and teammate Fabian Garcia have been named to the USL Championship Team of the Week.
It's a difficult week, and for us, it's more about just showing like how resilient we are. The results are brilliant, especially the way we got results. We kind of experienced all sorts of things the last week. We experienced being up earlier in the game and shutting people out, and then we experienced being up late, shutting people out, and then we of course experienced coming back from behind against a really good team. So I think we got a lot of experience in a week, which if you can expedite, the process, that's ideal, because that could have gone either way. But for us, it was just all about positive results and playing well and being consistent. Now it's about the next game.
All right, kickoff on Saturday night at Toyota Field set for 7:30. What a huge disappointment the Brooklyn Nets were this season after being swept out of the first round of the NBA playoffs by the Boston Celtics, especially when you consider all the talent they had on that team, including Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and former Spur Patty Mills, not to win one postseason game. Last night, they had their best shot in Game 4. After Jason Tatum fouled out of the game, the Nets took advantage. Kevin Durant gets the running floater to fall. Durant scored a game-high 39 points, but with Brooklyn down by 2 late, Durant misses a free throw, and the Celtics answered on the other end with a tip-in from Al Horford, and that's a wrap for Brooklyn, 116-112.
We had the best jobs in the world, doing your passion for a living. So when it ends like that, you start thinking about all the whole year. So give credit to the Celtics first off, man. They're an incredible team. They got a chance to do some big things the rest of the playoffs, and they played amazing.
The Dallas Mavericks have pushed the Utah Jazz to the point of elimination after winning Game 5 last night in Dallas and take a 3-2 lead. Luka Doncic was on fire. He scored 33 points, hauled in 13 rebounds as they helped the Mavs manhandle the Jazz from start to finish, outscoring Utah 52-36 in the first half. They included a 22-4 run in the second quarter when the Jazz went scoreless for almost 6 minutes. The Jazz tried everything to stop Doncic, including throwing him to the floor. That got Hassan Whitehead ejected from the game. The Mavs win 102-77 and now one win away from advancing to the playoffs for the first time since 2011. The Chicago Bulls are facing elimination when they go up against the defending NBA champs tomorrow in Game 5, and it looks as if they'll have to do it without Zach LaVine for the elimination game. That's because the Bulls guard has entered the league's health and safety protocols. He was not feeling well today, did not travel with the team to Milwaukee, and at best, his status for the game tomorrow is questionable. He will hang back for more testing to see if he will be able to go.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Before the NFL draft on Thursday, the Houston Texans and New England Patriots have made a swap, and now we're getting more clarity on the trade for picks. Houston has sent its 6th-round pick, 183 overall, 7th-round pick, 245 overall, originally from the Dallas Cowboys, to the Patriots in exchange for a 5th-round pick, 170 overall. That now leaves Houston with 10 picks in the 2022 draft. So they moved up and didn't cost them much in the process.
Needless to say, this is a very important draft for the Houston Texans.
Huge. Could change a franchise. They hope it will.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
More to come after the break. Now to the war in Ukraine. Top American military officials have been meeting with their counterparts in Germany.
Yeah, it's a way to show support for Ukraine as it continues defending itself against Russia's growing aggression. ABC's Ika Jochi in Washington with the latest.
And so does everyone here.
Today, a strong show of support for Ukraine. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin meeting with more than 40 NATO allies and other partners in Germany.
Will become a monthly contact group on Ukraine's self-defense.
It comes as Russia's foreign minister Sergei Lavrov delivers a chilling message, saying there's a real risk of nuclear war and that it cannot be underestimated.
It's dangerous, and any kind of rhetoric like that, I think is unhelpful. A nuclear war cannot be won by either side.
Lavrov also accusing NATO of engaging in a proxy war, saying Russian troops will target weapons storage facilities in Ukraine. New video out of Lviv showing firefighters tackling a blaze in the aftermath of a Russian missile strike on a rail network, supplying weapons to Ukrainian troops in the Donbas region. And in western and central Ukraine, Russia striking at least 5 railway stations and fuel sites. In Mariupol, Ukrainian fighters still holding on dawn at the besieged steel plant where thousands of Ukrainian fighters and civilians are sheltering. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres meeting with Russian President Putin, pushing for a ceasefire and increased civilian aid.
And we urgently need humanitarian corridors that are truly safe and effective.
The UN General Assembly unanimously adopts a new accountability mechanism that triggers a debate whenever a permanent member uses its veto power. The move is meant to highlight Russia repeatedly vetoing resolutions about its own aggression. But experts warn the new rule still won't prevent permanent members from blocking resolutions they don't like. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Lawyers in a class action lawsuit against Wells Fargo say the company's discriminatory mortgage practices are, quote, killing black opportunity, end quote. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump and lawsuit plaintiffs are calling on Wells Fargo shareholders to approve an independent racial equity audit. Crump has highlighted the pattern of racial discrimination experienced by a series of black Wells Fargo customers at all stages of the loan process. That includes predatory actions like approving higher loan rates to black customers, as well as fewer opportunities to refinance.
The number of reports of assaults, vandalism, and harassment targeting Jewish communities and people in the U.S. was the highest on record in 2021. That's according to an annual audit from the Anti-Defamation League. The ADL says more than 2,700 anti-Semitic incidents were reported last year. That's a 34% increase from the year before. Its previous reports found anti-Semitism has been on the rise for years in America. More than half of the 2021 incidents were described as harassment.
Some encouraging news in the fight against COVID-19 as a new treatment for kids under 12 has been approved by the FDA.
This as the Biden administration announces plans to make another effective treatment for adults more accessible. And the news comes as Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19. ABC's Rhiannon Ally has the latest.
Vice President Kamala Harris testing positive for COVID today. The White House saying she has no symptoms and has not been in close contact with President Biden, who today rolled out an ambitious new plan to expand availability to life-saving treatment for adults, Paxlovid.
That antiviral medication that is supposed to work similar to Tamiflu, where you take it early on, you get the prescription, and it's been found to substantially reduce the risk of severe disease.
The supply of Paxlovid was initially limited, but the White House has ordered enough pills for 20 million people in the coming months. President Biden wants to reassure doctors that there is ample supply coming and wants to distribute them directly to pharmacies to boost the availability, similarly to how they did with the COVID-19 vaccines.
I think that it would be helpful to provide this to communities, especially those who may not have access with these federally funded outreach programs where patients can get their prescription and talk to a provider.
The CDC says 3 in 5 people in the U.S. have already had COVID. 75% of children and teens had evidence of prior infection, and pediatric COVID infections are climbing again, up 43% in the last 2 weeks. But there is some good news for parents in the pandemic. The FDA authorizing the first COVID treatment for children as young as 4 weeks old, the antiviral drug remdesivir.
Those kids under the age of 5 don't yet have an approved vaccine. So this should be some reassurance to those parents out there who have those immunocompromised or high-risk children, knowing that there is another safe and efficacious treatment option for those kids.
But for those with kids under 5 who can't be vaccinated, it is welcome news. And there is hope for a vaccine for young kids, that it could be ready as early as June. That according to some in the Biden administration. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
U.S. home prices are surging. The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller released its new National Home Price Index, and it reports a 19.8 percentage price jump year over year for February. Home prices in Phoenix led the way for the 33rd consecutive month, with prices there rising 32.9%, followed by Tampa and then Miami, which saw 32.6% and 29.7% gains, respectively. Some home buying analysts say the momentum the housing market is seeing could soon be affected by rising inflation and further interest rate hikes.
Delta Airlines giving flight attendants a raise. Starting in June, Delta flight attendants will be paid for their work during the boarding period. Flight attendants at U.S. Airlines typically paid their hourly rate from the time the aircraft pushes back from the gate to its arrival at the next one. But now, in an industry first, attendants will be paid between $10 and $30 an hour for all the pre- and post-flight preparations. The pay bump comes as the airline asks its crews to work more due to growing air travel demand.
After the break, how a San Antonio nonprofit is helping kids with their reading skills and spending less time in front of screens. Those details coming up next.
SAS trying to help students' families across San Antonio with literacy and getting off screens.
Challenge Max Massey shows us the little lockers.
My younger one, believe it or not, he's in kinder, but I'm sure he'd pick some kind of like the Goosebumps books. My little one, every time we walk up in the morning, he's like, Mom, look, there's more books, or Mom, there's no more books, or stuff like that. So it's a cool little incentive for the kids when they're walking up in the morning.
Janie Ramirez has 2 children at Edgewood ISD, and she and her family are big fans of this program.
You can borrow a book, read it, return it. If you want to donate a book, you can drop it off at the school and they'll just, make sure it's in great condition and that it's age appropriate. And then you can always come back whenever you are ready to start a new journey.
It's fast, it's easy, and it's helpful.
Through the sponsorships that we receive for these, we purchase the books, and then community members can actually also do book drives for us as well.
Take a look at the little locker, stuffed with books, everything from Batman to STEM program. So many options for all these kids. And yes, it is about reading, it is about literacy, but there's also arts and crafts and just getting kids involved and getting them off the screens.
We wanted to do more as an organization, and so we started providing arts and crafts, sidewalk chalk, frisbees, anything to kind of help get kids out of the house, have a creative outlet, reduce the screen time, and really just keep learning during the summertime.
As for Janie, she and her family are ready for the summer.
It's obviously super important to keep them, engaged in reading, especially over the break. That's when they forget a bunch of stuff. So, it's a good, hey, let's walk to the school, or hey, let's drive by the school and see what book they got, or whatever. They love it.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take another look outside with live cam. Look at all those clouds hanging around today. 72 degrees out there right now.
It looks like the rain's not done.
Yeah.
It's teasing us right now, but at least we did get some good moisture. We'll take a look at some of the radar estimated rainfall totals in just a moment. You see those colors behind me on that screen. That's the map. 72 right now, dew point of 58. Not muggy out there, that's for sure. We'll see the temperature gradually fall off this evening. We'll be about 65 at 11 p.m. and then tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., 60 degrees. And really temperatures will be comfortable this evening, but on the rise in the days ahead. Tell you how warm and when in just a bit.
Know what I want to be when I grow up? The chief taco officer. That's a thing for favor delivery.
CTO.
Yes, of course, the CTO. It's got some serious perks here. Favor, of course, the on-demand delivery service in Texas. This position will get paid $10,000 to travel around the Lone Star State this summer, taste testing tacos and then telling people all about it. Job perks include lots of tacos, along with other free food, accommodations, and transportation in each city, not to mention massages and yoga classes, plus free favor delivery for a year.
Besides being a taco lover, anyone who applies has to live in Texas, be at least 21, and send in a short video explaining why they're perfect for the gig. So come out of your hard shell or soft. Talk about a dream job.
Heyo. Heyo.
Burger King giving away some fries to some customers. The fast food restaurant says members of Burger King's Royal Perks program can get free fries once a week with their order. The offer available for the rest of the year.
The promotion is to drum up membership to Burger King's 7-month-old loyalty program. It's been a big focus for the chain. Burger King hoping to copy the success of McDonald's and Wendy's. Both reported successes with their digital loyalty platforms.
All right, time to get your carbs on because it's National Pretzel Day. Mark the day by, maybe snacking on pretzels at home, hit up a soft pretzel shop like Auntie Anne's at the mall. You can also Google a recipe and try to bake some yourself.
I don't think anybody can do it as good as Auntie Anne. You can post to the social media using the hashtag National Pretzel Day. This food holiday created in 2003 when Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell named April 26th National Pretzel Day. It's a nod to the food's significance to Pennsylvania's economy and its history.
You know when I get soft pretzels? Spurs games.
Oh, yes. They're so good in those settings.
Caskey's making hand motions over there.
I've got issue with a state governor making it a national holiday. That's all I'm saying here,
This
okay?
has nothing to do
Explain
with
this
pretzels.
to me. Explain it to me.
I mean, anybody can make anything a national day, can they not?
You've got a lot of theories about the National Day.
I do.
Right. At least it wasn't the pretzel makers that made it a national day.
I don't know. In this situation, I'd almost prefer it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Rather
anybody
go that
can
route.
make anything a national day. Like, you know.
Our streak continues of the
It
National
does.
Day.
Streak continues.
Getting under Caskey's skin.
Yeah, I mean, like Thermometer Thursday, for example.
Who said it? Is it on the calendar? Is it?
I bet it's on your calendar.
Should be
It's a
on
good
the calendar.
point. It's a good
That's not a good point. So the rain is done for now. Flip his mic, okay? A comfortable night on the way, but back to 90 degrees in just a few days. Let's talk about those rainfall accumulations. Check this out. 24-hour rainfall. This is what's estimated by the Doppler radar. And this is where we had really some of the highest amounts. I mean, we're talking northern DeWitt County, parts of Gonzales, western Lavaca County. And then locally, you really see the difference in coverage of rainfall during this last rain event over the past day and a half or so. West side of San Antonio, about 1/4 inch max. But then you get up to the Schertz area, Cibolo, Garden Ridge, and we're talking radar estimates of anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rainfall. And here's a look at the drought monitor. Then we're going to put the radar signature on top of it. And since the rain began, we really got a lot of it where we need it, west of Highway 281, especially Dimmitt, LaSalle, McMullen counties here in the exceptional drought. I like to focus on those areas right about now, which was last night into early today. They got some good soaking rainfall. Is it a drought buster? No. It's going to take some time to pull out of the drought, but a little dent in the drought is nice to have, and a little boost in the aquifer is good as well. Rain chances not looking great going forward. 10% tonight, tomorrow, that's for a sprinkle. And then by Saturday, a 20% chance. That's for the potential of a few pop-up afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Just a few could pop up. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. But otherwise, odds are pretty slim in the foreseeable future. Look at the sky, though, and we have the clouds all across our area. Well, most of our area, seeing the thick clouds still in place. So it looks like it's going to rain, but unfortunately, I think all we could squeeze out of these clouds is a sprinkler, too. We are clearing around Canyon Lake and Green, New Braunfels, Seguin, seeing some clearing. But overall, I think mainly cloudy tonight and even to start the day tomorrow. Temperature-wise, comfortable. I mean, this time of year, we could be well into the 80s, but instead, at this hour, we're 71 in Helotes, 72 in Converse, New Braunfels 75, along with Castroville, and on the south side at Stinson, currently 79. By tomorrow morning, near 60. So Rio Medina at 57, Comfort 55 along with Bulverde, but 60 Floresville and Pleasanton. And just a nice start to the day. Then by the afternoon, we get back into the 80s. So temperatures will be gradually going up compared to what we had yesterday, today, tomorrow. We're back in the lower 80s. And then 90 degrees by Friday. But here's a detailed look at tomorrow. 60 degrees at 7 a.m. There's that 10% chance, a sprinkle or two. Don't plan around it. It's not going to have any impact if you work outdoors or have outdoor plans. Mostly cloudy still at noon, 73 degrees. Then by the afternoon, we bump up to 81 at 4 and 5 p.m. And I think the clouds will really thin out later in the afternoon as well. Other than that 20% chance on Saturday, unfortunately, this is a pretty blank 7-day forecast when it comes to rain chances, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. There's still a lot more spring to come, which is often when we get decent rain.
Thank you, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next.
And a good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It is April 26th.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says they were called to the 16,000 block of Griffin Road for a man that had been shot just after 12:30 last night. BCSO says the victim is in his 30s and he was taken to University Hospital in stable condition after being shot in the stomach.
It's also new this morning, 2 people in the hospital after a man stabbed 2 people at the Greyhound bus station over lost luggage. Happened just north of downtown on North St. Mary's, and that's where police say a man in his 30s confronted a bus driver as he left the bathroom and stabbed him in the back. A security guard tried to intervene, and the suspect, we are told, stabbed him in the chest. Both the driver and guard are in the hospital and doing okay. The suspect has been detained and is facing charges.
Police tell us this attempted carjacking ended with a fight in a moving vehicle and then multiple gunshots. Take a look behind us. Investigators still combing through all the evidence, trying to figure out what exactly happened. This all started just before 10 a.m. when the driver of this blue Honda Accord was trying to just get gas. The driver of the Accord tried to stop the suspect. A fight began inside the moving vehicle.
The suspect was able to reverse the vehicle to where you see it now, there on the side of the road.
During the fight, we're told the driver of the Accord was able to pull out his own gun.
Fruits and vegetables, they're a key part of a healthy lifestyle, and the Gonzalez Medical Group is making sure that seniors have just that. Today they hosted a produce giveaway event at St. Gregory the Great Catholic Church. 100 produce bags were given out while supplies last. They include items like apples, cucumbers, potatoes, and more.
Mainly gray, but comfortable this evening. 10 o'clock, 66. Midnight will be about 64 degrees. A stray sprinkle, but that's it. Not a big deal. It's not going to get in the way of working outdoors or outdoor plans. 81 tomorrow, then back to 90 by Friday.
Thanks, Adam, and thank you for watching the news at 6.
I'm going to go have a pretzel. See you on the night, Pete.